could be the Gwen.
Well, we've just...
I'm not going to lie, lads. You've had enough time to think about this, but that would be cool.
Yeah, there's a hen.
Okay.
Gonna come through for Zeus. And he doesn't get punished in this lane. I actually really like this pick.
Yeah, I think it sets up nicely and works well with the dive, right? The Grim Deliverance does a huge amount of work, especially.
Offsiders. Bin is fighting against Zeus here in this top lane. And there's a Grim Deliverance. Bin gonna have to dash his way out of this one. The passive is stacked up. The flash in, gets the knock up, and there's first blood over to Zeka, and Anka's gonna connect here as well. Well, Knight's moving over. Kanavi is gonna pull off of these grubs as there is Zeus looking for some angles towards Bin, but Bin went all out. But maybe he's going out of this top lane once again. As Zeus, the sidestep is going to mean that it's gonna be all right. He did have the passive, so he's not going down just yet. And in fact, is able to walk it off for the moment. Yeah, now Delight looking to move its way in, and the passive is gone, and so Zeus is just dead. Maybe wanted to go for a little bit more of a fight there instead, but will be going down. That is a good answering kill here from BLG.
Yeah, he gets kited out in the roam over from the rest of BLG. They get the kill. They're also going to be able to get the grubs here. Delight and Kanavi still looking at them. He wants to steal away one. He's got a smite charge.
Yeah, Anka going to connect somehow onto Knight. That was a great thread of the needle. Only level 5 Delight, though, is now on, taking a lot of damage. There's the cease and desist. True shot barrage over the top of HLE's Kanavi, trying to stay alive, but Viper comes on over to lock him down. The teleport in from Zeus. Now we know why they wanted to start this one, is on, having to get out of there. Gumayushi moving up now as well. Has been in amongst the fight, but the Chains of Corruption will hold him down. He tries to get away with the Grim Deliverance. He's going to come through from Zeus to block that one off. Another anchor from Delight.
That comes through is just too much for him to try and get away from.
In the meantime, we've got another battle. As now Kanavi taking a lot of damage. Shun just walking on over. Bin gonna come through, but Zeus gets to the safety. A great thing. Zeka also being able to get 100% kill contribution as well as kill himself is going to feel nice. Is on trying to get Delight out of his jungle, but that is not going to quite work as HLE take the first strike. Next one going to be a Cloud. As Delight looking for a hook angle, see whether he can actually get in there. Does find it onto On. And there's the cease and desist. They should be able to get the Nico here. Depth charge is onto the Ezreal though. So On will be able to escape. Bolt Breaker gets Kanavi out. That felt like a free kill.
That BLG's jungler is going to be on the bottom side. So the Aurora just going to back away for Zeka, not wanting to contest this Orianna.
Yeah, manages to clear out the wave as well. So no.
3 members of HLE here.
The thing for HLE, as Kanavi goes for it anyway.
Yeah, On taking a bit of damage. Kanavi sidesteps on those Tangle Bobs. Gets the Vault Breaker max range. Cease and desist. They hold him in position. The Shockwave's decent, but the hook is better. Shun's still going to make his way down, though. The Grand Starfall is good for the Grim Deliverance. Looking to turn the play around. Gets the knock up on the Knight, but still, he dies. Couldn't stack it up. And now, Gumayushi turns up. Looks to get the snipe on Knight. Doesn't do nearly enough damage. And Shun picks up a double. And it's Blast Cones for the escape here for HLE. Grabbing a double dragon if they could. They are beelining in that direction. And they have a lot of vision towards this bottom side.
Hextech Protobelt just completed for Knight, though. 2-item spike. Kind of nice here for the Orianna if BLG want to contest. But honestly, I think with the position they're in, they're just going to be happy to take the plate for a bit in the top side, put a bit more pressure. But as I say that, they're moving in. But I think this dragon's gone.
Yeah, it's just going to be taken here by Kanavi.
Yeah, I mean, good lead-up vision. So much possibility of getting a good flank. But everybody's going bottom, so kind of hard to go attack Knight and even get his flash. Couple different angles here, but Zeus just straight walked out.
Yeah.
Through the brush there, and now they get a pick of their own.
The Anchor's going to miss, but the Chains of Corruption do land, and there is On going down. They'll take any pick that they can get, as Knight was actually still have the composition that can select a target to die. As, all right, there's a little bit of a route onto Zeka as On taking a lot of damage here. We'll be able to back away as Knight just deals with this top outer turret.
Yeah, BLG basically giving
Viper on Ezreal. This guy's been a magician late game on this champion, and Orianna needs no introduction as far as value later on is concerned. The Rift Herald is not going to do very much of anything at all as On goes maybe a little bit too deep. They do manage to take down a turret here as the Dragon is going to be secured by Shun. Looks to try and turn it here onto Delight. We need a depth charge to come through. It'll get the knock-up onto Shun as now Viper trying to play off to the side. And Zeus, can he stack up the passive this time? The answer is yes. Grim Deliverance is going to come in, but it's going to be a taxi out for Bin. They kill him though before he can escape. And On is thrown through the wall as Between Worlds came on down. Viper playing this one out gorgeously though. The arcade shifts a double kill. And there's the resurrection, but where is he being resurrected to as Zeus comes up and kind of wishes he had stayed down.
BLG! And On strikes.
Huge shockwave, the pop blossom to follow, the snipe onto Gumayushi with the spear. BLG.
And this is something that Viper got some notoriety on for quite some years, both in the LCK and the LPL.
Up creep without the Varus, so just take a pop shot to the tower, and BLG happy to support it.
And yeah, they just can't walk towards the orb. The orb is just too frightening. That's Azonia's fully completed here, 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. And Knight, Grand Starfall does bring Shun up there, as now Viper possibly caught out of position. Kanavi going to be dancing away from him though, and now we'll see whether Zeus can keep himself alive for long enough to get that passive back up again. The Grim Deliverance comes down, Pop Blossom going to connect, and they destroy Zeus. HLE did get one back.
Coming out the better for wear off of that. Sure, you do lose Zeus, but you get a kill, you get the tower, you get some much needed gold.
Right into their point and click and try to be the delivery, so Dragon will be avoided for now for HLE. Guma not in sight, so your smite is safe.
Control here for BLG. They look to just really isolate this Baron, make sure there is no vision as Kanavi goes in. Not sure about that one. Zeus off to the other side is making that one work, but Zeka goes between the worlds. Viper off to the side is tagged by Delight. Shun now getting taken down to the GA, and Kanavi just going to die because he doesn't have that item. Zeus should be able to use his passive to stay alive, but once again, there are a few too many people in the vicinity. He does get the ulti, crashes down on top of Shun. On is going to be executed as well, as Ben is looking for the angle. Zeka and Gumayushi still alive. Delight limping from the battle, and there is Ben taking him down. Guma will be ushered towards his inhibitor turret, but is he even safe there? There's an orb on top of Ben, making him nearly immortal, and Gumayushi will be obliterated by this Cassante. Zeka now with a couple of invaders in his house. We're going to try and see whether he can get rid of them. But BLG, they just want to head over towards maybe a Baron, but they don't have a jungler.
Yeah, BLG, they will chase Guma to the ends of the earth there, inside your own base. And they finish the kill, they'll finish the tower, and they will turn to finish the job.
Well, they do get some information as to what's happening on this Baron. But Banana Brush control is going to be there for BLG. They are ready for the turn. Pathmaker there from Bin. The Baron down very, very low. Kanavi just not there in time. The pullback does come through, but Bin may not be the target. They're looking for Chains of Corruption. They do layer the CC onto the Cassante, but he is an absolute brick wall, and he just jogged it.
That poke is not going to stick around for very long, and it feels more and more like BLG are starting to punch their ticket to finals.
Not to mention, Kanavi now finally with his GA, as there is one on Zeus as well, who does clear up this bottom outer turret to try and bring them back into touching distance with this gold. But it's the compositions that are starting to become a problem for HLE.
Yeah, they're going to have to find some crazy angle, and they're going for it now. Teleport with the flank from Delight.
That is definitely an angle. Depth charge comes in, and Zeka will find it. Takes down Viper. Okay, that is a big pick here for HLE. Still 4 minutes on a Baron, there's 4 minutes on a Drake. Not a whole lot to go for, but maybe they can take a turret or two.
They bide their time, they give away the Dragon, they split push, and they wait for an opportunity. Now another.
Yeah, Shockwave going to connect onto Zeus as he gets the knock-up on tonight, pulls him back. Grim Deliverance as Shun is now doing battle. Gumayushi does not want to 1v1 the Pantheon, and now he knows why, as Kanavi going to get pulled away by Bin, put down to the GA. Shun going to follow suit. Zeus is dealt with, and Bin is now just going to destroy this Vi with the help of On, who actually takes the kill.
Burned in the end. Zeka and Delight have to hold on. Decent damage on tonight, but can he do more?
Well, there's 25 stacks on that Magi's, man. If that orb comes in anywhere near any of these HLE members, it could just be lights out, and that Shockwave is just about back up again. First inhibitor going to go down, but BLG, a lot of respect here as they will back away.
So they didn't have the necessary pieces to actually finish that play. And now BLG are on the offense.
Well, Shun gonna get knocked up. No GA this time around as he's caught by Zeus. He gets into the backline, but he's just obliterated. My God, the damage out of Viper. True shot barrage to sail on through. But Zeka did manage to get himself a kill. Now looking to try and take down this Ezreal once again, as he's looking to do some funny business. Does have the teleport and not not going to be able to use it. He'll be taken out. It's On that picks up that kill, and it's now only Guma left to try and pick up the pieces, and I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's a 1 for 4. Gumayusi has to clear the wave, but stepping up is so dangerous against BLG right now.
Okay, will there be enough wave clear? That is the question. I do not think so, as Ben also going to make sure that Gumayushi's not allowed to press any buttons. He can tank up 2 Nexus turrets, and it looks to me like BLG has a date in the finals. HLE are going to have to go through another target if they want the rematch, and honestly, with this performance, I don't know whether anyone wants to face off